calm after the storm. I'm just admiring my new view there. Imagine how awesome it would be if there weren't power lines right in the way. But without that tree, I can see a lot more of the water. Pruned her up a bit there. Out here early, hopefully early enough that I can get a picture of where I want to mount the power box in the basement to the state electrical inspector so that he can either okay or not okay my desire to put it in a place that is this much too short. He just said send him a picture and he'd make the determination from that. So we're out here pretty early today. Dad's on his way. They just got power back after 2-3 days without having power, so he's gonna be a little late, but we're gonna hopefully work on wiring stuff, and so he'll give me a crash course on how to do that. Another beautiful day out here at the river house. Yeah, there I am, illuminated by a yard light underneath the house. Well, still no response one way or another from the electrical inspector. I do love technicalities, however. Where I would like to put the power box, where in fact the conduit was originally set for it, is right here, and that distance is 2 3/4 inches. I didn't account for the floor. Oops. But I can remove the floor, so I suspect we'll probably just carry on terminating everything right here. I mean, I don't even have the box right now, but terminating everything right here in this corner. And then we'll deal with the rest later. I think there's got to be a stub wall framed out with 2 or 3 layers of drywall for, you know, fire, stuff like that. So God only knows why, but I spent my morning installing the first of the storage platforms, if only so I can get this crap out of my way down in here. And then I proceeded to basically fill it with the crap that was up there. So I ain't building the second one today. And I hauled down all of the lumber I would need to do, you know, another one up there, which arguably would be difficult to get to, but there's a lot of stuff you don't need to get at very often. But I can put that up there, and then this lumber is enough to maybe put another one over here, although my spans are a little bigger. But yeah, I have way too many crawl space vents down here. Oh man, I went over and above. I just don't know what I'm doing. This is gonna be a pain to keep this above freezing once we move in. I mean, obviously block them all, but it's gonna be a pain to block and unblock them all. Anyways, you gotta deal with radon somehow, right? So that's where we sit. Dad's not here yet. I don't know if the roads are a mess with trees or if their power failed and that's why they can't actually call me back. Or if he just got a late start. But that's where I sit. That's where I sit. I think now I'm going to pull this brace out of up here and then we'll take this rolling scaffolding now that I got the crap out of its way, and we'll continue that blocking all the way across up there. Just it'll help with that wall issue, you know? It'll help with that wall issue. And then I bet I could put some cross bracing once I get insulation in, some X bracing up in that location where it won't get in the way. And that'll help with that wall issue. We'll get it. Day 2, and again I got the music. We'll hope we don't get flagged here. So, didn't film anything yesterday. But we got outlet boxes placed. Nothing shows you how much of a mess your construction site is, like trying to get to all the walls. So, since there seems to be a bit of a confusion about where the power box is going to be located, you can hear Dad and Shay drilling upstairs. You know, our basement, like I said, it's 2.5 inches, technically too short. He said, nah, it'll probably be okay. Send him a picture. The inspector's a busy man, so we don't yet know if we've been approved for that small variance or not. If not, we have to put the power box someplace else, probably right here in this wall. Yeah. So what we're gonna do is, we still got a lot of outlets. We can, you know, pull wire and daisy chain, and then it's only that last outlet that has to go down to the power box. So that's kind of the idea. Is we'll drill holes and we'll run wires between outlet boxes and studs and whatnot, and then once we figure out one way or another, because if we're reading it correctly, they won't even let me run the power in my crawl space in conduit unless the conduit's also buried 18 inches, which seems crazy. I should be able to put it in, you know, Schedule 80 conduit and run around the perimeter of the house. So we got to get some of those, you know, answers answered, and then we can make a better call about where the power box is going to go. So I doubt I'll take the time to film much today, and I obviously have to get upstairs to help out. So that's where we sit. I got nothing filmed. Nothing whatsoever. Everybody is just taken off. I can show you what we did, but it's just too busy for filming. It slows too much stuff down when I have experts here who are coming to help me out. I just can't take the time. We have got most of the upstairs outlet and wiring done. No feed lines to wherever we end up putting the power box, although there is one coming. Nothing I like better than ordering $1,000 worth of stuff again. Woo! Heady feeling. So Shay's room. We originally had a small snafu where we had too many outlets on an outlet circuit. Kind of wish they'd update that, you know, because stuff just doesn't draw nearly as much power as it used to, but that's fine. So this is the laundry room, right? We're gonna have receptacles for 220 for a hot water heater, although we're gonna use gas, and receptacle for 220 dryer, although the plan is to use, again, gas to maximize the cost savings there. Outlets and feed wiring and stuff, and Dad is very particular about how his wires run. He maintains that you know, impress the inspector, and that's half the inspection, i.e. if you're taking the time to do that correctly, you're probably taking the time to do everything else right as well. I understand a little bit more. I could do some of it, and I definitely have outlets I could sort of disassemble and poke around in, or I could simply leave wires sticking out so that Dad can dress them when he gets here. Next things to do, we've got to get stuff on the floor when it comes to these bathrooms. So this partition wall has got to be built. As far as woodworking stuff, right, I need to get that finish the rest of the way across because there are light boxes that go in there and a ceiling fan goes in there. And then I think we've decided what we're going to do here. Originally there was the idea that it would go all the way up, but that's over and done with. That was back when we didn't think we'd have vaulted trusses. Yeah, that's been kicked out for a while. And I can get this wall taken care of to finish out, because this is the wall that was flexing a little bit, and it's just this joint where the two of them is not strong enough. So downstairs I've got a 14-foot 3.5 by 7, and it was an interior door header beam, and it was just extra cuts. So I own it, and it's here on site. So we're gonna put that in there, split it the middle. We'll go 7 feet on that side, 7 feet on that side, and then you'll have this massive beam that'll help hold everything together. And then I think we're gonna lag bolt through into the big log, drop some spacers in there and lag bolt to the log. We should have no future. I mean, it's probably still would have been just fine, especially once I got siding and drywall on, but after that I don't ever have to worry again. It'll be totally strong enough. I'm getting a funny burning plastic smell, so I want to have a look at what's going on in the wood stove. There's my beam. You know, like I said, I already own it. It's here on site. I do have to grunt it up in there. What in the world is going on here? There's not much left in there. We weren't supposed to get yet another windstorm, so okay. I'd put my knowing what I'm doing on the wiring side at a solid 2 out of 10. Nonetheless, we got a bunch done, and looks like I'm gonna have to put in an order with the hardware store. So I'll try to buy local on that. Hopefully it's just within a few bucks. Anyways, that's what we got done in the river house. You didn't get to see any of it, but I'm tired, and I still have to go to work because it's semester finals, so gotta get those grades done and those tests written. So, oh yeah, and then Dad comes. Everything's been all hunky-dory on the COVID front, and no joke, we're here Saturday night, and the little bell goes off. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, you've been exposed to COVID again. We don't think there's anything to worry about. You're not in quarantine, but just FYI. It's like, damn it. Stay safe, guys.